Following on from the previous video where we showed you how to import a DXF file, we'll continue now and add the profile that we need to pass this through to the turning module. So this is the DXF file that we've imported. So I can either use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out, or I could use the zoom function here just to zoom into the area that we're interested in. So what we need to do is we need to set the Nc Datum, which will be our Z and X0 position, and we need to create a profile of this outside shape here. Now you can see that there are various lines which are going between the outside edges of the shape. Now we can leave those where they are, but it's better to get rid of them so that when the system is creating the profile, it doesn't reach a decision point at the end of an arc and you have to indicate the next element. So if we simply delete out these lines that we don't need, okay, so the next thing we need to do is we need to split this vertical line here where it hits the horizontal line such that we can create the profile starting from here, going all the way around and then finishing back at this point here. So to do that we use the intersect command, and from the vertical toolbar we use the option split items, and we indicate the two items, so the horizontal line and the vertical line, and so that makes that a separate line segment there. You can see that it puts a red dot where the operation has just taken place, and we do the same thing here, there to there. So we need to create the profile and set the datum. So to do those things we choose the NC button here, and the first thing we need to do is to set the datum position. Very often on a DXF file the datum, or the drawing origin, is the bottom left hand corner of the drawing, which is okay for a drawing but it's not much use for machining. So we need to choose the set NC Datum icon here and then indicate where we want the NC Datum to be. So we'll place the datum at the end of the line that we previously split. So it shows us the datum with a blue propeller. So the next thing we'll do is to create a profile. So to do that we move the cursor into the drawing area. I'll just use the mouse wheel to zoom in. So what happens there is that the cursor picks up the line, and if the cursor is towards one end of the line it shows me the start point of that line and the direction with the arrow, but I want to start from 0, so if I move my cursor down towards the other end of the line then the start point is the datum position and the profile will be going upwards from the arrow. So we click the button and we can leave all of the defaults as they are, but one thing to note, under the general heading here the shape is closed, is unchecked, therefore the shape is an open shape. So because we've defined the start point we need to give it the end point. So if I click OK, then the help at the bottom here says left click to indicate the end point of this contour or profile. A contour is used for milling, a profile is used for turning. So if I click that as my end point, I may not actually ever machine that point, but that's the last point for the profile that I want to create. And it automatically traces from the first line all the way round without any of the decisions that it might have had to make because I deleted those lines. So we can see that the profile has been created going all the way around. Now one thing to note, when you're creating a profile like this, don't include the center line because the turning software doesn't need it and it will interfere with things if you include it. So just include the elements that you need. One other thing is to try to always get the profile finishing back at the center line. So if we start at the center line as we have done here, then you should finish at the center line there. So that will be the start and end points of your profile. We'll show you how we can machine that shape in the next video.